Hello and welcome to Law and Order SVU here on FANVERSATION. I am Yael Tygiel. You may recognize Taylor Gates, and that is Felicia Michelle. Hello, welcome back.
Oh my God. Hi, guys. Why was I about to start talking in a British accent? I'm sorry. Hi, guys. I'm so excited to be back.
So much.
Let me be from over the pond.
Things have changed here. Welcome, Felicia. Welcome, Taylor. Welcome to our live chat. Everyone who's watching us back at our regular date and time. Before we jump in, a reminder, we know that we missed 2 episodes and we'll get to them. Be patient, please. This is season 27, episode 5, Feed the Craving. Before we jump into the episode, some reminders. If you're in a situation and you need help, if you are assaulted, please reach out to RAINN, RAINN. Their number is 1-800-656-4673, 1-800-656-4673. What does that spell?
It spells hope before inevitably tries to beat me at that game.
I turned over multiple leaves. I am different.
Yeah, you're British. You're British.
Different, terribly different.
I was like, I'm just gonna let it be. Someone's gonna take it.
I was ready.
Amazing. Am I glitchy or are you all good?
I'm okay now. I think
for a second, but I got this one droopy eyelash, so I wasn't sure. Pick it up.
Well, it happens. If you're new to our podcast, welcome. Consider this your content warning. Sometimes this show deals with serious issues. This episode, who knows? Sometimes there are very serious issues, and we on this podcast make light. So consider this your content warning. This may not be the show for you. We are not a true crime podcast, although I will tell you this was ripped from a headline, and we'll talk about that later. But we're not a true crime podcast. We're not a serious podcast. We're an SVU. That's true. All right, here is the quick cap for this episode. Season 27, episode 5, Feed the Craving. A laboring woman is kidnapped. Rollins and Curry seek her doula's testimony while Carisi works to secure a confession during jury proceedings. All right. The question is, how did you guys feel about this episode? Felicia, let's start with you.
Oh, thanks. This was, strange. Very strange. Very strange.
Great. Taylor, what did you think?
I loved it. I thought it was going one way, which I think we all were, because that's what they led us to believe. And then we went somewhere crazy. But I knew from the minute Danielle McDonald, right? That's the actor's name.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, she is about to do something wild, because I feel like she is just always cast in the craziest roles that I'm like, she's about to eat. Like, I just knew that she was gonna give us something great, and I was like, okay, wow, maybe it's like a more dramatic turn. And then like it was, but it had that wild twist, and I thought she crushed. I thought the acting was good. I thought the direction was really interesting. We had some really weird camera work going on that I think really worked for it, and we're just continuing our streak of bangers. I thought this was really interesting and different and crazy, and I enjoyed watching it.
I agree with both of you. I very much enjoyed this episode. The first viewing, I was like, what is happening? Everything is crazy, and we keep, twisting and turning, and when she was leaving the hospital, I was like, oh man, like it would be so cool if she was like a con artist. I was like, they're not going to do that. That'd be too cool. But what I thought was something else. Like this was not what I thought we were going with. And this was wild.
You thought it was a mental health thing? Like
no.
Oh, okay.
I thought she was a malicious con artist. Like I thought that was, so like where we ended up was.
She kind of was.
But
yes.
I meant like, I thought for like monetary gain, like she had some sort of scam she was working. Not whatever the fuck this was.
I thought she was like maybe just mentally disturbed, because that is a thing. Like you can, like that can happen in your mind, that it can convince your body, where people like even will like grow their abdomen will grow out like they're pregnant. Like they will truly believe that. And so for a second, Shorty played me.
I thought the same thing, actually. I was like, okay, like that's really sad. Like it's a trauma response. I was like, okay, no, it isn't actually at all. Crazy.
Am I the trauma?
She
You are
got
the trauma.
So that trauma response is called pseudocyesis, and we had seen it previously in season 10, episode 19, Selfish, which is the Hillary Duff episode.
Classic.
Yeah,
as soon as all I hear in my head is just do it, love.
I mean, as you should. When the rain falls down, I got you.
Yeah, Bobs.
Yeah.
The thing early on, when we're still looking for her, when she's been taken, they find her journal, and in it she's tracking her glasses of water, steps, and the time she practiced calligraphy, but nothing about work. And that never came back into anything. And I was like, what is this journal? What
maybe
is it?
Maybe it's like this. Well, if we're on the, I was like, maybe it's just to show that she's odd. Maybe it's just like this. Look at this odd bird. Isn't this an odd thing for a person to do? And no, because some people do things like that, and they're not odd. They just are just different. But it is just not in the norm. I think there was just like another thing to be like, look, she's weird, right?
It was so specific, though.
Yeah.
I really wanted to play into something. Do you all track your water?
Writing down my water for the day. That down in my journal.
I just chug a lot of water, so hopefully I don't get a migraine. That's my water tracking, is drinking it.
Do I have a migraine?
Yeah, do I have a migraine? Yes. Okay, well, I haven't drank enough.
No,
I'm doing fine.
If it's Yael, she just goes, I haven't had a Diet Coke, so something's has to be
true. Not this.
What do you have with you,
Felicia? Do you have a drink?
I have water.
Okay, good.
In a big dumb cup.
Yeah.
Deanna in the chat says she's quirky. Great.
She's so quirky.
I mean, that's fair. It was so specific. I want to jump ahead to Rollins figuring out the question about the ultrasounds, and like why going through the trouble. So like Rollins, it was such a Rollins scene to be like, here's some questions, like something's not adding up. I'm going to dig into this. And I loved seeing that. I'm so glad she's back. How do we feel about Rollins returning? Because she didn't really leave.
I love that she's back. Like, first and foremost, love that. Because, we don't like to lose any people that we love on this show, because we're deeply invested. However, the means that she got there makes me concerned for future episodes of what now do I owe you, because now you brought my favorite back. And you know what I mean? Like we're still figuring out this relationship, this new leadership, if this is a person who can be trusted or not. So that is where I kind of go, happy to have her back, but is this going to mean that now the squad owes something, or Olivia has to do something now, like take a job that she keeps telling you she don't want?
I agree. I think I appreciated that last episode, both Rollins and Liv were talking about how like they see that this isn't just a good deed. They both are aware of that. And I appreciate that, because there's nothing I hate more than stupid people.
We can agree. Taylor and I know that's true. Yeah. That's actually on her top three.
Kids, stupid people.
Speaking of kids, literally the top of this episode, I thought we were going to have a whole episode about like pregnancy, and I was like, because she had all these underlying conditions and all these things, and it was dangerous pregnancy. And I thought we were going to have a whole episode about that, because pregnancy really is actually incredibly dangerous. Like, that is something people don't talk about enough, that it is a very dangerous process. Also interesting that pregnancy is like a medical condition. from what I understand, and I'm going to let people who have been pregnant correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, like you take medical leave from work, like it's sick time for pregnancy leave. What?
It's just you're so uninterested in children that you've never even thought about the means and how they get here. And what a person you've never. She's like, I guess they take a medical leave.
I know that you take time
Oh,
off. I know you take like pregnancy
disability. You can get short-term disability sometimes. Yeah,
that's my friend said.
disabled.
Yeah, my friend was telling me that like to put in her time off for maternity leave, it was under disability as opposed to maternity leave, which is, I believe, separate, but I guess not. Again, you're right. I don't care to ever be pregnant. The only part of pregnancy that interests me is way back in the beginning of the process.
Right at the start of class.
Yeah.
It is, even though they didn't kind of get into nitty gritty of that, we did talk about a subject that I think is really cool is doulas. It didn't go into it in their traditional like way, but I think maybe it's a great way to introduce the idea to someone, because they made it very clear these are not medical professionals. And I thought that was a really great distinction to take off the bat, that like to understand why the crime was even as bad as it was, to understand that they don't do things in a medical professional capacity. They do things in a compassion capacity. And I feel like that even makes the crime worse, because you just are like a energy vampire, for lack of a better term. And you're just taking, because they do help, they assist. They're like teen mom, right? They're not like all about the baby, like whatever mom needs. And a lot of times people who are maybe in marginalized communities, or people who are single parents who are entering single parenthood by themselves, they need additional support. So a doula would, help a mom out in that way. I could probably explain that later, but so it just sucked that people and they did it for free. Like, it's such a time consuming thing to be somebody's doula. So it's really jacked up.
I agree. I wish they would have explained even more about like what a doula's job and responsibilities are, because they did talk a lot about like how it is not a medical position, but it made me wonder like how much training and what the training actually is for this role, specifically because what is the actual role? Because I, again, as somebody who has no interest in this, I assumed they were like similar, or if not the same as a midwife. And I guess also not necessarily sure what exactly that all is.
So like a midwife could be a doula, or it could be a midwife and you have a doula. They can be both. Sometimes a lot of people, they're both. They get, there's like a certification process that people go through. They usually study under somebody, have some type of like apprenticeship. They have to have, I think, just a couple, maybe like 2 or 3 pregnancies that they help out with. Like, everything is different. It depends on where you live. It depends, but I don't know what government agency regulates that. And if that is something that's regulated, again, I haven't had a need for one. So, but I know a couple, and I've interviewed a couple, and it's compassion care. It really is. It's all about the mom and like advocating for what she wants. And, I guess, I don't know what medical training you need. I think you need something, because it's a lot of stuff coming out of there really fast. So,
and it's one of the most dangerous processes for a woman's body to go through. Deanna in the chat. Deanna in the chat says, Yael thinking children are a disease is the best podcast running gag. And I would like to clarify that it is not a gag. That's the part I want to clarify.
There are no exceptions to the rule. I want y'all to know that. Like, I have said to Yael before, but when I have a baby, like, be different, because like, like, we're friends. And Yael said, I don't really want you bringing it around until it's like 12. Like, she literally.
You can ask my nephew. Did not talk to him till he was 12. Also, friends told me they're pregnant, and I said, I'll see you in 18 years. Also, Doreen in the chat, I would like to remind you of last week when we went on a soapbox about not using AI. That is what I will say. All right. I'm looking through my notes. Who wants to take a topic?
What are the choices?
I want to talk a little bit about the I guess the predator part of this and what Natalie did. Because I think that this episode did some interesting things. The way that she conned these doulas was an interesting storyline. The fact that she wasn't pregnant and she used this to like get people to give her affection and attention and empathy is interesting. The fact that we, as SVU, decided to have someone lie about a rape and then not only continue to like talk about how she clearly is lying about her rape, and then one of the stories she told was that on the way to the hospital, she was assaulted or raped again by the EMTs, and Benson being like, because of course she did, which feels very out of place for Benson. Sorry for those listening to the audio. A cat has appeared.
So the issue is, you don't want me to hold you. You just want to be up here. The issue is he hears y'all. And so he thinks there are other people here. So he's like, why are you leaving out the conversation? So he'll be sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm so
This
happy.
is my child.
And I love him.
His name is More Chestnut. He's mean.
I love him. Anyway, as I was saying, it felt irresponsible to have her make false rape accusations through this story because, and I'm going to just say it, regardless of what's written on the page and what we watched, I 100% believe something happened to this woman. Way back when, before she started all of this, something happened to this woman. Because also the idea, I think Benson says like, you were never sexually assaulted. And I read in my notes, actually, it's very highly likely that this woman who exists in the world today was.
I thought the literal exact same thing. I thought we were going to have like a child abuse case. And I was like, oh, okay, that's like how she's dealing with it in adulthood because like something happened to her as a kid. So I was surprised that we didn't go that route too. I really thought the same thing.
So you Dr. Wine now.
You're
doing profiles over here. You're profiling.
Yeah, exactly.
That was good. That was a good profile. I feel like that's where we would have needed him in the episode because I don't know why he wouldn't have been in an episode like that. That's what I literally got upset because I was like,
so much.
Excuse me, y'all didn't think to put. Hey BD, if you can come in for this episode, that would be great because the expert witness right now that's on the stand is not explaining this well to me. But then I guess he would have had to get like crushed by Carisi, and they wouldn't have wanted to put that character in that position. But I just don't understand why would that not be the call, you know, because he would have been the call to say, okay, Olivia, so this is what you're gonna do, the game plan of how you're gonna get, and then like. I don't know. Maybe he was busy doing something else, but I was a little disappointed not to see him in an episode where there's clearly some psychological issues at play. But I don't write checks.
I'm with you guys. Let's talk about the psych eval because we have this doctor, and Carisi says, in my opinion, I think one of the worstly, like really poorly written. If you just think about the words for a second. Because he asks, you know, we learn about the disorder, we get the questions answered, and then we are discussing the difference between malingering and fictitious disorder. And he says, in your professional opinion, isn't evading criminal charges exactly what happened? And I was like, in his professional opinion, he's on the stand to tell you that's not what he believes. Why would you, in your his professional opinion, is the opposite of what you want him to say. So that question was poorly worded.
It wasn't the best.
Thank you.
It wasn't the best, you know. Alex would never, but it's fine.
I will say, in defense of Carisi, I think this is the most I've ever liked him as a lawyer because he was getting at them and he was sassy and he kept breaking the rules, and I liked that, and I would like to see more of this side of him. I literally wrote in my notes, I was like, this is the first time I've liked him as a lawyer.
Wow.
Pretty much. I can't think of any other instances. He was channeling Barba, he was channeling Casey, and he was just, and I liked that.
maybe he's just more comfortable, because that transition, he was always like, I got to do everything by the rules. I got to do everything right. I got to, like, and sometimes when you know the rules, when you follow them and you know them for a while, you know how to break them. And I don't imagine that he doesn't go home and doesn't hear an earful from his wife about that, what's right and wrong, while having pizza and fun stuff. But that I'm sure that at some point there's a conversation, and it's like, hey, I need you to put your back into it, act like you're, who you are. Like, you are smart, you are capable of doing this, and you don't have to be scared of the upstairs, because like they do stuff wrong all the time too. So I do think that I do see Taylor's point in that, like, he has more balls. It's just
Mm-hmm. Deanna in the chat says he should call Barbara for sassy notes.
Agreed. He did. It seems he did.
And Doreen said this episode threw me for a loop, was not expecting the way it went. So nice to have not figured out in the first 10 minutes. And I agree. I think they're doing very interesting things so far this season. I want to give some actor shout outs, because as we were saying, Carisi did a great job. But we all know who he is. Natalie was played by, and this is very important, everybody, Danielle McDonald. First of all, she's Australian. So like, you didn't know that. You couldn't tell. No accent. She does like a bunch of different accents. I know her best from Dumplin', which she does a Southern accent.
Was she in was it Bird Box? It was like some thriller when she played some crazy, like, she is always playing these like unhinged people, and I love it. I'm like, never change, because she has this like really sweet, almost like baby face, and then she does this crazy shit, and I love that.
She was so great. We also have I'm gonna call him asshole Officer Tran, which we can talk about his shit later. That's Quentin Nguyen Doi. I'm so sorry for butchering names. Eduardo, which is the boss, her boss, who definitely did not assault her, was played by Marcus Ray Perez. One of the doulas, Annika, was Tara Van Catamaran, and Dr. Shido is Kurt Yu. Lily, the other doula, was played by Chelsea M. Davis. Amazing performances. Everyone deserved actor shout outs.
The doula, and I forget which name it was, but when they like didn't know it was a pattern, but it was like the first one they talked to other than the one that was with her.
Lily
was so good. Oh my god, she was so good. I was hoping you would shout her out, because I was like shook by how good she was in that.
It was a great scene. Like, she number one, her performance was incredible, but it was also too that conversation of understanding what the definition of assault really is. She just was like, oh, that was a weird moment. It's like, no, like, that's a sexual assault. Like, and I always enjoy the show because it does that. Like, it has these ways of finding pockets to like actually educate people about what does that mean, because a lot of times I know the society only has one definition of a lot of things, and there's actually multiple definitions and experiences and nuances of experiences, and people understanding, what sexual assault is, what, grooming is, and defining things very clearly. The show does a great job at that. So I appreciate that moment. And again, her performance was so sincere. Like, you could like genuinely, like, oh, the realization that I was, that was a heavy scene, but it was really good, because she seemed so happy. Like, she seemed like this really nice, you could feel this, the person, like, oh, she cares, she's a doula because she cares. And that's, and because of her care and her level of empathy, she was willing to excuse egregious behavior. Like, that's ridiculous. That's crazy as hell.
I agree. This was a really fun episode. I am not a fan of the like deal that was made.
Honestly, I'm almost a little bit confused, because some of them work for free, but didn't some of them not work for free too?
I think all of the ones that she conned work for
because that's why I was confused, because I was like, okay, I know some of them did, but some of them didn't. So I don't really understand how you can like say that it's fraud, like defrauding if they got paid. I don't know. There's like probably like different like levels of that in an explanation. But I was honestly like kind of confused about how it would have been defrauding them if she did indeed pay them. You know what I mean?
Right. I think that all of the ones she got offered to do it for free.
Gotcha. That makes more sense.
Because of the circumstances that they believed, which is a whole other question. But I think I was like, she doesn't have a job. Again, why I thought at the beginning that she was like conning people for money and for financial gain or something. Because she didn't have a job and the only thing she did was volunteer. And it was unclear as to how
You don't get paid for that.
Lived.
Yeah.
I thought what I was thinking was, damn, she need to give her regards to Broadway, because to act like you're in active labor for 48 hours, are you kidding me? First off, I can't get on the treadmill for 20 minutes. I'm like, quit. I'm like, forget all this. Like, so for 48 hours, you acted like you were in active labor. Like, for that alone, just go do something else. By golly, geez, you would do so good. You act like this. I'm like, a lot of this episode, one of the things I have written down was Inception. If you ever saw that movie, Leonardo DiCaprio, there was a lot of Inception in this, because she was acting like she's an actress, right? She's herself acting as this character, and this character now is acting like she's pregnant and having to do it for 48 hours. And then if you see it, it gets reversed back around when she has that scene with Liv. I'm sure we'll get to that in a second, but I'm gonna just jump ahead. Sorry, Yael.
No, let's talk about it.
Liv is now doing that because we have Mariska as Olivia Benson and Olivia Benson as acting as somebody who gives a fuck. And it was just it was perfect. And so I was like, this is just like an Inception episode. Like, I loved it. I love when, like, a little Russian egg. I love it.
That was beautiful. It was a great way to explain this episode.
I hope that made sense. Yeah,
it did.
Totally. Let's talk about using empathy as a weapon. I love the way it played out. Apparently people on Reddit thought that she was going to start touching herself under the blanket.
I didn't even think about that, but that would have been crazy.
Me and the people at Reddit are going to hell, because I thought the same thing. I was like, is she trying to catch her being nasty, like touching on herself? I was like, she wouldn't do that in there.
I mean, I didn't. Surprisingly, that was not something I thought was going to happen.
I just knew that y'all were going to get on here and be like, yeah, we thought that was a setup. I'm glad I'm not alone, that there are a thread of people.
Oh, yeah. There are people who thought that. I definitely thought that it was a setup to get her to do something, to like make a move on Olivia. So I wasn't expecting the way that it went. I also think, and this is just a personal preference on how I would have played this out, is that I think Olivia's interaction with her should have never switched to more aggressive. Like, I think that it would have gotten us even more answers and even though she was like, wait, so was it 5? Was it 8 months? Was it a year? Like, still asking in the Olivia way. But the fact that she like turned and was like, you weren't assaulted, you lied, I can tell that you're lying to my face, that I was like, I would have kept going. I would have kept going to see what else you got out of that.
I agree. I thought it was a weird switch up, as fun as it was to watch. I don't think it really made sense to switch at that point. I really think she should have kept pushing. But like the moment she like asked for more tea is so weird and malicious. I loved that. I was like, whoa, this is like a threat. Like, I don't know what this is, but that moment was crazy to me, because she knows exactly what she's doing, and it's like almost like spitting at her. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's so condescending in a way, and she's like keeping hold of that power. That it was just like such a well done scene, because having two actors in one space like that can get so boring so fast. But I think the caliber of actors, the camera work, the writing, like just built so much good tension. It was like watching a tennis match. I loved that scene so much.
Alice agrees with you. The camera work in that scene was great.
Like tilted into the set. I'm like, whoa, this is artistic.
Yeah.
One of the best parts is when she grabs Olivia's hands and Olivia goes like I know she did. Oh, she crazy. Like, okay. She's really, I think that was the moment where she realized, she's really going to engage in this, and to see empathy used as a weapon is not something that we really get to see ever. And I thought it was geniusly written, and that was really, really cool. It's, one of my favorite scenes in it. And I did write, she is out of her mind. And giving her that blanket to trick her into touching herself.
Guys, mind you, something that never happened.
No, but I think it was just there was a lot of intensity in that scene, in that moment, that I loved it, because a lot of times people think empathy and kindness equate weakness. And a lot of times your empathy and your kindness is your biggest strength in situations. I could definitely say that for myself, like me being able to actually read the room. And also know when people are being disingenuous. Sometimes empathy, it's bad. People think it's bad because some folks always give people the benefit of the doubt. Y'all know I talk about all the time, my shana, I listen to that along with my empathy to be like, okay, is this a person I want to help or not? I agree with Yael. I don't care for the switch, or Telly said too, I don't care for the switch, because part of me does have empathy for this character, because how do you get to a point where you do stuff like this? Where's that? And maybe she'll come around again. I don't know. We'll see.
That is such a big thing with the way that the case ends, where Benson's like, I will see you soon. And Alice says, we'll be interested for her to come back and get into her backstory. And I feel like, one, she has to come back because, not to tell the show what they have to do, you literally set it up. She has to come back. And two, there are questions that need to be answered, because I'm not saying that all predators were victims at some point, because we have seen that there is a cycle of violence, but that doesn't always mean that that's where it is. This situation, something this
specific.
Honestly, there's
These are flashy lights. This is alarms.
It feels like there's something more here, and I'm surprised that we didn't explore it this time. I assume we will. I want to switch gears a little and talk about Tran and this Rollins Curry thing. First of all, Tran's rat impression. How do we feel? Good, bad?
I mean, he thought he was pretty good.
I know, that's why I want to know your opinion.
It was fine.
A for effort. Like, I don't never want to yuck anybody's yum. If you felt good about that, who am I?
I will say I got what he was doing.
Yeah,
I understood that that's what he was doing, a rat impression.
Maybe don't quit the day job.
Sure. And
maybe the psychologist should quit the day job, because Carisi punched holes in that fast.
Yeah,
so good. Maybe we need to be always reevaluating, right?
But so his problems with Curry, and Rollins says later, like, he's got a big mouth, but he's harmless. And the truth is, that's not harmless. Especially a woman who has made it to the title of captain, a woman of color who has made it to the title of captain, a black woman who has made it to the title of captain. It's not harmless.
I thought you were going to say she was queer, because y'all know y'all love to recruit.
She's not.
You don't think so?
I thought she.
Forever be like, no, they're gay.
To you, maybe not.
I mean, she's not. Sorry, it is not canonic yet.
Okay, well, to me, it is. That's a bisexual if I've ever seen one. Anyway.
Oh, I miss you guys. You're right, because isn't it like a, what is it saying, like, loose lips sink ships, right? It's like a whole thing of, like, running your mouth is not good. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
No one likes a snitch.
Snitches get stitches. That's another saying.
That is also to be like, she's a rat, she's a snitch, I'm currently snitching. Like, shut your mouth, dude.
Right.
Not my favorite.
Yeah. Oh my God, Deanna thought he had a stutter. I guess that was not the best rap performance.
Whoa.
Hilarious. All right. I want to get into best lines, but we can keep talking as we go. Taylor.
Yeah.
You usually have lots of best lines. I have a few. Felicia, you got some?
Yes, I do.
All right, would you like to start with one of them?
Okay, yes.
We'll round robin it.
Okay.
Oh, I love that.
All right, let me get it. It's so important for me to make everybody feel so comfortable, welcome, cozy.
Love it. Good one. Taylor?
This was from the beginning. I'm sorry, she's in active labor? That's just the craziest situation you could walk into.
All right, I'm jumping to the end because this was my favorite line, I think. Your illness makes you masturbate in front of virtual strangers?
A good one.
Felicia.
Okay. It's only from this one scene. People tell me my superpower is empathy, but you know what else I'm really good at? Knowing when someone is lying to me. Forget you, Chuck. Loud out there.
Beautiful. Taylor.
I just liked Rollins saying sucks to suck. I think we should let her say sucks to suck more.
That was a good one.
I have the second, well, I guess it's a response. I like the response of, I think it's kind of sweet that this office hasn't killed that twinkle in your eye just yet.
She was eating. I liked her.
Oh, I did not give her a shout out. But
great.
that is a Broadway star. 1 second, I'll pull that up when you give us another quote.
Go, Taylor.
Okay. One day you're playing, and I can't pronounce it, Rachmaninoff, the composer, and then next you've got hooves. Sure. And then next you've got hooves for hands. Lots to unpack. What are you talking about, though? It's giving like the zebras, like.
Yes.
I was like, okay, interesting.
Lindsay Mendez is the Broadway star who played the defense attorney. She was also on the show All Rise.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought she looked familiar.
Yeah, on All Rise, she was the stenographer. So it was really nice to see her also in a courtroom, but not the stenographer. I have just one more, which is congratulations on not murdering her with your bare hands. That showed real restraint.
Yeah.
That's a good one. There was a lot of sarcasm in this
I
episode,
have a couple
and I enjoyed it all.
All right, Taylor.
I just love the term empathy vampire because we all know people like this, and it is so draining. And so I'm gonna start using empathy vampire. I liked Rollins saying not to channel my husband, but it's gonna be hard to charge her because I think that's like I'll get behind it if we get fun little reminders like that. I can't believe none of you said you're selling me a ham sandwich and telling me it's a Reuben.
Because I knew incredible. I had the response. I was like, you're gonna say it. I have the response.
Okay, fair. And then finally, this is another Lindsay Mendez. 1 juror is all I need, but 12. Good luck with that. I was like, oh, okay.
That was a good one. And then a walk off. I like that one.
He was sassing it up. She's been taking lessons from Barbara. I'll tell you
that. Love it. Ooh. Well, this episode, as I mentioned, was ripped from a headline. Where is it? Show me the thing. Okay. So, friends, this happened in Canada, and there is apparently a true crime podcast made by BBC and CBC that talks about this woman, Caitlin Braun, who lied about being pregnant to more than 50 doulas. The podcast is called Caitlin's Baby. You can listen to it if you want. But a woman had a similar experience where a woman called her saying that she had just given birth and then later called her and told her that the baby had died. It gets so much weirder. This woman says, I worked with more than 100 pregnant women over the years, and although every woman is different, their experience is unique, there are similarities in all births. Her details were spot on, which made me know it was very well planned and premeditated. I was completely convinced that this woman had no question in my mind that it was real. she says that she was contacted in 2020. It was a first-time mother going into early labor and had been told to stay home because everything was closed because of the pandemic. And they stayed in touch via text and calls. The woman's husband allegedly had cystic fibrosis and had a heart and lung transplant, so they couldn't go to the hospital at all. A few days later, she was asked for more support and was told that the baby had a heart disease and was going to die. Anyway, wild story. There's a podcast, you could check it out. This is absolutely ripped from a headline, which I thought was fascinating because I was looking for the name of the condition, pseudocyesis, I believe, and then came upon that this case was stolen from, ripped from the headlines.
That's nice.
Yeah. So that is that. I will also say, in terms of, we usually tell you all some news here.
Oh wait, can I say one thing about the rip from the headlines? I'm so sorry.
Yes.
In place before I got started. So I found a girl on TikTok who's actually one of the victims of the real life case. If you want to go, I'll put it in the chat in a second. But her name is Katie Nelson Photography. I saw her on TikTok and she was like, unfortunately, I am the victim of this. And she goes on the video and she talks about how she was so happy to hear Olivia Benson say the things out of her mouth, because she's like, these are all the things I actually wanted to say to this woman, and that she did end up re-offending and she was arrested. So I don't know what's going on with that exactly, but I'll put Katie's in there if you want to go to TikTok and watch her story, or just like give her love, because like she's a real person that this happened to. It's different when we talk about it and it's real, but like watching her talk about it on, it's even more kind of gross. It's because you really realize, wait, this is a real person, like the real victim. So I'll put her TikTok handle in the chat right now. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And repeat it again for people who want to look it up after the show.
Katie Nelson. I'm about to drop in the chat now. It's Katie Nelson .photography on TikTok. She's a photographer. So not a doula, but I'm pretty sure that, you'll scam one person willing to help you scam another, so you can hear more of her story out of her own mouth. I don't want to talk for anybody, so you can hear her own words.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that. Amazing. For anyone who's watching organized crime, according to the internet, Warner appeared. You're welcome. Taylor, you were tasked with giving us info on Mariska's appearance on Amy Poehler's.
Okay, thing. I'm going to be honest, I haven't watched the whole thing, but the clips are amazing. I know Chris Maloney is the one who called in at the beginning to chat. And so she talks a little bit about the first time they met, which was pretty funny. They talk about who Mariska would want to play her in the movie version of her life, and Amy Poehler suggests Cate Blanchett, and she's shook to her core. She loved that suggestion. It's really funny. They were also talking about wanting to do an all-female version of Hamilton, where Mariska would play Burr and Amy Poehler would play Hamilton, and I would like to see that come to fruition. So lots of really fun stuff going on in that. Definitely give it a watch. Like I said, I've seen the clips, but I will watch the whole thing. I'm still planning to, and I'll keep sharing information.
Okay. I saw a headline saying that she revealed that she had auditioned for Friends a bunch of times and really thought that she was going to play Monica and thought she was going to do comedy. And bless you, Felicia. And really thought she was going to do sitcoms, and then she got SVU.
Yes.
But that is Amy Poehler. What's the show called?
Good Hang with Amy Poehler.
Cool. It's time for shower thoughts. For our friends who are listening in the shower, we love that for you. Welcome.
Wash your legs. Don't just let the soap run down.
Other parts too. I have a would you rather. I have two because I was told that my first one was not good. But I'm still gonna ask it because I think it's on brand.
Okay,
I believe in you.
Would you rather? And again, our would you rathers are always loosely inspired by the episode. Would you rather? And if you're watching live in the chat, answer the question: give birth or have a root canal?
I've had a root canal. So I'll go for root canal again.
It's much shorter.
I
Giving
thought
birth
it was
is 9+ months. No.
Well, you could be laboring for 48 hours. A
That's
real
what I'm
one
saying.
too, not a made up one. So that's a long time.
Root canal, easily.
Yeah, I don't want
Agreed.
to on anybody.
As I was coming up with this, I was like, you don't have to keep like the baby then goes elsewhere. You just have to give birth.
Yeah, but emotionally, that's also like there's stuff psychologically that does to you. So
That's true. That is true. Deanna in the chat agrees. Root canal. Yep, I also agree. I was told that was not a good one. So here's Doreen says 3 C-sections. So root canal.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's like that's like
Vicious.
major surgery. That's very. I'm glad you're okay, girl.
All right,
Those
better.
do some good on Mother's Day too. Real good. Like peace and quiet.
Alice says root canal, the trauma of birth does not sound fun. Agreed. The good question that I was offered was, okay, would you prefer or would you rather feel like you're pregnant for 5 years but not be, or have an easy pregnancy and birth and then have a baby who doesn't let you sleep for 5 years?
Oh my God.
Wait, so you're just gonna so the first one you just
You basically have
I don't like either one.
purgatory with that question. What? So wait, the first 5 years you just feel like you're pregnant the entire time, but you're not.
You have essentially pseudocyesis.
Okay.
Right. So like you feel you're pregnant, your body's like you're pregnant, everything about it is like you're pregnant, but you're not.
I would rather actually have an easy pregnancy and have a baby that cries for 5 years, because I'm not gonna not eat sushi for that long, and I'm not gonna not eat deli meat. And you
could. You're not
actually pregnant.
But if I thought like that, then I wouldn't, because I would think
at that point. I mean,
I would think if that was going on that long, I wouldn't, because I'm like, oh, I can't because that. I want to drink wine and stuff.
Interesting.
It's the more end stuff I'm worried about than anything else from the sushi and stuff. That's also on the list.
All right.
Fun. I want to have fun. So I was fine. I've been tired my whole life. I've been tired since like the 6th grade. So like whatever.
You also have to care for it. It's not just you don't go to sleep. It's all the things that come with a child.
I like kids though.
Okay.
But it's the poop part is scary to me. Like I don't like my relationship with poop is not great. Like I don't even like when he poops and stuff. So so I don't know about that, but
I'm going with 1. I would rather just my body think it. I already have like stomach.
Wait, do you not get your period? You don't. Oh, wait, hold on. I hadn't thought about something. So you don't get your period the whole 5 years either,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are other ways to do that, but
I don't know.
Deanna in the chat says second option. I don't sleep period because of work.
But then you guys don't. You also have a baby to take care of. I think no one is like thinking about that. You have a whole kid. It's not just sleep. You are raising a whole kid.
Doreen says, I work, so I have to say easy pregnancy and no sleep.
Okay, love that for you guys.
Taylor.
I'm not in a place in my life. I cannot be having a kid.
Taylor is giving Sarah Paulson when you ask her about men. Like your facial.
And you know what? I'm not too. So.
Well, I'm glad this was a tough one. If you're listening,
answer?
Yeah, she didn't answer.
Oh, not this one. My answer I feel like is not appropriate for the internet, but
walk the plank.
Yes, but if I have to choose and have to live, then I would take the first one.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the name of that hotline again?
Different hotline, but if you need help, call RAINN. Okay, I'm very, very excited for what did we learn?
I have 2. So
amazing.
Go first.
Okay.
I'm prepared.
Okay. I learned that we have a new name for Munchausen, which is fictitious disorder of the self, I believe.
It's factitious, isn't it?
Factitious. What did I say?
Because I thought it was fictitious too, because that like makes sense. But
But
I think
factitious
yeah.
disorder on self,
Mhm.
as opposed to on someone else, because Munchausen by proxy is something that we've also heard of.
Why did you change it? Do we know?
I believe it actually, when I looked it up, it was always called that.
Oh.
But like the layman's term, the term we used was Munchausen.
Oh, because people can say it easier, probably.
Than factitious disorder.
Yeah.
On self. Yeah. Felicia, what'd you learn?
I learned that the writers for this show are still dedicated to making this show interesting for longtime viewers, because we got something that we haven't got. We got to explore different things. We learned something, new. That's what I learned, that they're still willing to keep trying. It's like, like I love Maury, right? Like I loved Maury that growing up, and I stayed to see if it was the father or not. But after a while, people get to running from the camera. You get used to things, and it doesn't hit the same anymore. And so I think it's cool that Law and Order, they know how to cook still. They still know how to cook, and I feel like they cooked with that episode. So
I would argue that we got different chefs.
I mean, I think both of you are correct.
Just saying.
I think that this needs to have. I think there's a second portion of this story that can be explored, or hopefully that will bring it together for you. Maybe you just got the appetizers, and I had got my course.
So fair. I love this analogy, by the way. I love that we're
it's a great metaphor. All right, Taylor, what did you learn?
I learned what the command position was in feng shui.
And what is it?
So basically, it's like you are positioned facing the wall, but you're not like directly the door, but you're not like directly facing the door. You're just like positioned like angled so you can see it, and then there's like a wall behind you, I believe. That's what happened when I Googled. But I was like, oh my God, thanks, Rollins, for teaching me command position feng shui. And I kind of didn't know if that was a real thing, and so I Googled it, and it is.
Good.
Are you gonna try it?
I should.
I think that would be a great thing to try, just because like being a woman, like who has stuff to say, sometimes people don't listen to that, even though you know what you're talking about. And any device I can use like that, I just use it to my benefit. Like,
well, there's even not poses, but like ways to stand, especially what is it called, like the superwoman pose or whatever, where it's just like your posture and stuff. That's supposed to help too. I bet it truly helps. I just need to like get better at doing it, like you said.
I feel like the next time you walk in, you're gonna be like, all right, where's the command?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm command positioning, I'm superwomaning, like I'm just throwing everything I have at it.
I love it.
I love that too. Alice learned that 2% of people on the sex registry are female. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because that is very much something I want to touch on. I got to turn off all the things. One of the things that I looked up because of this conversation and the way that the episode played out was the rate of, or the amount of false rape allegations, which is also around 2%, 2 to 10%, they say, which feels, as we heard, that's a very low number, and something that should be discussed in this episode, where we are claiming that this woman has a false rape accusation. And I think that we gloss over that. And the way I said this earlier, the way that Benson responds when they're telling the story of one of the doulas who was on a 12 to 14 hour FaceTime and then call back saying she was assaulted by the paramedic. And Benson's response was, because of course. I feel like as SVU, the show, SVU, the squad, and a show that has spent 27 seasons talking to us about believing victims, it's 2%. It is very, very unlikely that there are false rape accusations. And once this case starts and we come to that conclusion, everybody just automatically switched over. And I feel that we are missing somebody questioning that, especially this team.
Yeah, I hope in the follow-up episode that we hopefully have that maybe gets addressed too. I don't know. In other seasons, I would like not have hope for that, but I don't think I have hope that maybe this season that will actually happen.
I agree. I think, as we said, there's good stuff happening this season so far. So I think we can believe that there will either be a follow-up episode, which I think we deserve, or at least, we have had in previous seasons where somebody makes reference to a previous case. One of our favorite stories is the guy who liked to hump the jackets, which then turned out we mentioned him multiple times, and then he was William Lewis's roommate in the halfway house. Like, people do pop up and come back, and we do hear about them. So I wouldn't be surprised if one day Benson comes in and is like, Natalie's been arrested again. She's finally going away. And then somebody questions how we all got here.
Mm-hmm. So would it have sufficed for you if they had just said one line like that? This isn't typical. They had put a line or two in there about how this is not usually typical, and then kept the story going. Would that have sufficed for you?
You know me. One line usually can solve.
Yeah, I was thinking. I was like, I don't feel like an overhaul is what you're looking for. You just one little easy little like asterisk line. Hey, let's just put this in here so that this makes a little more sense.
Yeah, it's just no, go ahead.
Like, even if the like of course she did line was changed just like an oh my god with her, like, so it like can kind of be interpreted both ways of like, wow, a lot of crazy shit has happened to her, or like this is kind of feeling boy who cried wolf. Like that would be kind of solve both. I'm thinking with my writer brain here. But I feel like even just like changing that line or tweaking it so it could have like a like almost more meaning to it could have maybe helped that.
I would have even been not okay, but I would have understood if somebody had just said like, how did we get here?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like 30 women came forward. She's an empathy vampire. She's touching herself in front of strangers. How did we get here?
Yeah.
It was a little, we'll see.
We'll see. One can only hope.
I mean, I can respect a risk because, again, every single person who's been in the chat, all of us here have said the same thing. We didn't see it coming. And it's nice to, sometimes you want to get just smacked with it. I don't know. You don't want to just be like, oh, here was what you already normally have. Like, no, we'll do something a little different. I don't know what the it is. I meant like, okay, never mind. My mind went somewhere bad. Sorry, guys.
That's fine. We love it when our minds go somewhere bad. On that note, I want to say thank you to everyone who's live in our chat. Alice, Doreen, Deanna is here. Felicia posted in the chat. So if you want to check out that TikTok, you should. Chu in the beginning said hello. Thank you all so much for joining us live in the chat. For those who missed it, we are here on Sundays at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, doing the new episodes. We promised to do the two that we missed. We will get to those. Until next episode, next week, Felicia, where are you on the internet and what can people look for these days to see you?
I am it's Felicia Michelle on all social media. I'm trying to be more on TikTok and stuff. So sometimes I watch documentaries over there and make dinner for myself. Sometimes I have fails. I'm honest about what sucks. So yeah, I'm doing that over there. And this and other things. I'll tell you guys next week. I'll talk about next week. But I do have good news. I have to wait. So that means I'll be back. You know,
amazing.
Us after the show?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys. Yeah, sure.
Hey, good.
Sorry, everybody.
We get to know first.
I don't know why you thought that I would be patient enough to wait a week.
Right. I was like, I will be interrogating.
I didn't think that.
No. Well, we're happy to have you back. Welcome back. You've always had a spot on the show. Your spot is there. Taylor, where are you at on the internet and what are you up to these days?
I am on Twitter at alphabet_and I'm also on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_. I work at Collider, so you can see some of my interviews with people on collider.com. You can just search my name in Collider, and yeah, I just did a bunch of interviews with the diplomat people, which so good if you guys have been watching that. The Last Frontier on Apple TV. So yeah, if you guys watch anything other than SVU, unlike Yael, you can find me on those places. She proudly says that.
Yeah, there are very few shows that I watch these days. I am on Instagram at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. You can find me weekly talking about SVU. If you are into spicy romance novels, you can check out my Bookstagram, Good Little Library Mouse. It is opposite of SVU. SVU is, you know, about caring and good people and doing good things. And what I read is smut. So, you know, consider that your content warning. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.